Hi everyone, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Ultimate Screenshot Maker. This is a script that I created that automates the process of creating screenshots for the app stores. App stores like Google Play for your Android, for iTunes if you want to develop apps for your iPhone and iPad, the Amazon App Store, even the Windows Store, the Windows Phone Store, for the Mac if you want to develop programs for the Mac. This will create screenshots for that as well, and also for the Nook, which is kind of a little known app store for the Nook reader. And if anybody knows the process of creating screenshots and how painful it really is, it's kind of almost like a dirty little secret that nobody wants to even talk about, because you spend all of this time and effort building the app and then uploading it to the store, and then you have to go ahead and create screenshots for it, which isn't always an easy thing to do, because a lot of times each store will have their own specifications for the exact size of the image for your screenshot. And sometimes on stores they've got different devices, and then each device has its own screenshot size. So if you have like 5 or 6 screenshots for your game or your app, and then you want to produce a bunch of different versions for all of the different devices and stores, you're looking at anywhere from 10 or 11 different formats that you need to create, different sizes for each screenshot that you produce. So if you've got 5 screenshots that you've taken for your app, you've got to create like 50 or even 60 different images just to upload all of those to the store. So that's the great thing about this script that I'm going to show you. It's a really great script. I'm pretty proud of it. And basically, the script works so that you can run it for both landscape and portrait screenshots, which is really important. I know some of the solutions out there that create screenshots for you might only work for portraits. So this does landscape, which is great. So basically, it's going to produce the PNG image files that meet the exact width and height requirements for all the major app stores, like I mentioned earlier. And so basically, you're going to go ahead and produce one set of screenshots, using your favorite device or emulator, and then, just playing your game or, going through the app and then just taking screenshots. And then basically what you do after that is you import all of those screenshots that you made, like the 5 or 6 of those screenshots, and then you just import them into the script, and then you just sit back and then you watch the script do its magic. Basically, the way the script works is that you're going to select a background image for your screenshots, and then you're going to be able to build an unlimited number of scenes that serve as the container for each one of your screenshots. And in each one of these scenes, so it contains a background image. It can contain a descriptive element, describing the particular scene, and then you can put any other element that you want on it. If you want to put some arrows that point to a certain part of the screen, you can do that. You can add a device image, and then your screenshot is going to be overlaid on top of that device, making it look like it's being played on the device, which is pretty cool. Or you don't even have to have the device image. You can just turn that feature off if you want. And so I'm just going to show you a quick example of it's just a screenshot of what I'm talking about here. So basically, this is an example scene. You've got your background right here, so you can pretty much make your own background. This is just like a simple gradient blue background that I created. And here's your phone. This is just like an iPhone 5, I think it is. And here's how the script works. It has a green screen right here. And so when you import all of your screenshots, the script is going to resize your screenshot and basically just put it on top of this green screen right here. And then the other thing is you can add these descriptive elements to your screenshot as well. I've got a nice ribbon format here, and you can just put anything. You can change the text here, and like I said, you can put arrows here as well. So this is the landscape version of your scene, and similarly you've got the portrait, which is just it's just flipped over on its side like that. And same thing, your green screen, you got your background, you got your text elements, descriptive text elements, and you can add an image here of the device if you want. There's images for currently there's images for iPhone and Android devices, but if you've got images for like your iPad or any other device that you want to use, you can just simply bring that image into the script and it'll work. So basically the script is an Adobe Illustrator script, and I'm going to show you right now exactly how that works. So I've got Adobe Illustrator open, and here's basically the structure of this Adobe Illustrator file. It's made up of, you've got your background images here stored in this layer, you've got your devices in this layer, and then you have these scenes, scene 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just 4 scenes here. If you need additional scenes, all you need to do is just highlight that, you click on that, and you duplicate the scene, and you just got to rename it to scene 5 and then scene 6. So in order for the script to work, it's got to be named, these scenes have to be named in order, scene 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in each scene, if we just open up this layer, it's made up of, you've got this text element here, which is really, it's made up of this, you've got a ribbon graphic right there. And within that ribbon, you have the text that you can change there if you wanted to. And you have the screenshot holder, which is, serves as the holder for your actual screenshot that you're going to be importing. And then if we wanted to change the device, we can just open up our devices right here. And right now we've got iPhone 5 selected. So if I deselect that, it's going to take off the device. You don't even have to have a device if you don't want to. If we want to pick like a Nexus phone, we can put that there. If we want the Android device, there's that. And if you want like a Samsung device, there you go. Likewise for the backgrounds, we've got a blue background right now. And I'm going to be adding more backgrounds as well to the script, but if you take that off, there's no background. If we want some green rays, that looks pretty cool. Some blue rays, we can do that. So why don't we just leave it like that? And then I'm going to run a quick demo for you. So let's just pick the iPhone device. We're going to use that. And then real quick, let's just look at the scenes again. So that's scene 1. Basically, it just says, fun game. And then if we look at scene 2, just very similar. It says multiple fun bonus games. It's got an arrow pointing down. Scene 3, multiple game levels. Again, you can move this element anywhere you want on the screen. You can add additional elements if you want. And scene 4, free bonus every 2 hours, and that kind of points to an area on the screen. So those are going to be those are the basic scenes that I'm going to be creating, and I need to import some screenshots that I created, and for purposes of this demo, I just created some screenshots here, and you need to put the screenshots in this layer called raw screenshots. And if we take a look at that, here's basically what the screenshots look like. Let me just move this down so that we can see them a little bit better. And it's just real basic screenshots. We've got screenshot 1, 2, 3, 4, and so basically that's kind of how it works. You're going to create your own screenshots and then just import these screenshots in here. And then all we need to do now is go up to our script. In order to run the script, so we're going to open up our file menu and go under file. We've got to first select the Adobe Illustrator program, and then we go to Illustrator, File, and then go down to Scripts, and then select Ultimate Screenshot Maker. Okay, so then this dialog box is going to appear, and here we just have some settings. The new directory name, it's going to put all your screenshots in this directory called Screenshots, and it's going to prefix for each the screenshot, the file name. It's going to prefix shot to it, so that's going to be the name of the actual outputted file, if that makes any sense. And then we need to pick what we're working on. Is it landscape or portrait? And we're currently going to be creating some landscape, so we'll leave that as landscape. And then you've got some options here. You can append the size to the file name, so whatever the width and height of the actual screenshot is. So why don't we go ahead and select that, and then save to set subdirectory. Basically, this just creates a subdirectory for each set that you make. So if you're creating like the Windows screenshots, it'll create a directory called Windows and put all the screenshots there. So these are all the different sets that I'm talking about here, and you can select all of them or select none of them, and then just pick whatever you want to run. I'll just select all, and it's going to create screenshots for all your iOS devices in the formats that they need for the iTunes store, and also for Windows, Mac, Amazon, Android, and Nook. And then the next thing we need to do is you just click on OK, and then the script's going to start to run. And the script, depending on how many scenes you're working with, this demo has 4 scenes, and so it's basically got to create like there's 11 different sets, and there's 5 screenshots, so it's going to create 55 different screenshots. So the script could take a couple of minutes to run, so I'm just going to pause the video, and then we'll see how the script worked out. Okay, so the script finally ended up running successfully, and let's take a look at what happened here. So we've got 4 scenes. So in each scene, let's just look at the first scene. We can see that it put it correctly in the right spot there, and so that's screen 1. Scene 2, we have scene 3, and then scene 4. And then now let's go take a look at the files that it ended up creating that you would upload to the various app stores. Okay, so I'm opening up my Finder here, and then I'm just navigating to the directory that the script is in. So it ended up creating the screenshots directory right here. And then since these are landscape screenshots, it has a separate directory for landscape. And then these are all the different directories. So for instance, if we wanted to take a look at the iOS 4 screenshots, there they are right there, and it appended the actual size of the image that it created. And again, that's the perfect size for what the App Store is expecting for this particular device. Similarly for iOS 3.5 device, we've got those screenshots here, and iOS 4.7, there's the screenshots. iPad, we'll take a look at that. There's a screenshot for the landscape iPad, and then also for the iPad like high resolution, which is double the size. There it is. So if we just open that up, we've got a much larger screenshot here. I know we can't see it in the camera here, but it's a very crisp image, and that's the great thing about this script. It uses vector images. So no matter how much you resize the image, it's going to come out crisp because we're dealing with vectors. So that's it for the landscaped demo. Let's go ahead and try to run this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up an actual device. I'm going to run an iPhone simulator, and then we're going to go ahead and take some screenshots from there, and then bring them into the portrait script, and then we'll run some portrait screenshots. So let me fire up the iOS device. So I'll bring in my terminal program here, and this is the command that I use to run an iPhone 6 Plus device. Okay, so here is the iOS simulator for the iPhone 6 Plus device, and it's fairly large on my screen. It's taking up the entire height of my screen here. So we're just going to go ahead and open up a couple of sample apps. Like let's just take a screenshot of this just for a demonstration. So in order to take a screenshot on the simulator device, we just really have to use this command, which is Control S, or Command S, I should say. And by doing that, that created the screenshot. So let's just go into the Maps program, and we'll just take a screenshot of this, and we'll go back to our home screen, and let's open up Newsstand. There's Newsstand. Let's take a screenshot of that. Go back to the home screen, and we just need one more screenshot. And let's go into, what's this passport program? That's good enough. Let's take a screenshot of that. Okay, I opened up my portrait version of this script, and let's go to the screenshots that I just created. Those are on my desktop, and any screenshot that I create from those emulator devices, they always get put on my desktop. So for your machine, it might be put into a different place. So you just want to navigate to those screenshots and then just select them like this. And we're just going to drag them right into our Adobe Illustrator program. And if we look at our layers, it's going to put them all into a single layer. And what we need to do is in order for the script to run, we need to rename that layer to raw screenshots. Okay, so let's just get rid of this old layer. We're going to name this raw screenshots. Okay, and we're just going to move this out of the way so that we can see what we're doing here. Okay, so there's a screenshot there. They're pretty large from this device. So basically what the script is going to do, it's actually going to resize them and then overlay them in this green area. And one important thing that I forgot to mention is you want to make sure that the aspect ratio of your actual screenshot matches up with the aspect ratio of this green area. And to get the aspect ratio, all you need to do is take your width and divide it by your height. And you're going to have a number, and that's your aspect ratio. So you want to make sure that that aspect ratio is very similar to the aspect ratio here. And if it's not, you can easily just go into each one of your scenes and then change the size of this so that the aspect ratio actually matches to your screenshot. So because if you don't do that, you're going to get some stretching of your image that's not going to look very nice. So that's just a technical aspect that you need to be aware of. And I don't need to do that because my aspect ratios match perfectly to the device that I selected. And so let's go ahead and run this right now. We need to make sure that these are in order. So this is going to be your screenshot number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So this is going to be put on scene number 1, which is right here. This one is going to be put on scene 2. This screenshot is going to be put on scene 3, and this screenshot is going to be scene 4. So again, here's the screenshots again. Let's take a look at that. So that's screenshot 1, screenshot 2, screenshot 3, screenshot 4. So let's go ahead and run the script right now to produce our portrait style screenshots. So let's go ahead and run this script. But before we do, actually let's change this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and change the device. We're going to make that into an Android device like that. And let's change the background as well. So I'm going to pick these green rays, and I just do that by turning these on and that one off. So let's go ahead and run that right now. So I go over to Script, File, Scripts, Ultimate Screenshot Maker, and then I select our selections here. We're going to leave all of these the same, except we're going to go ahead and pick Portrait because that's the kind of screenshot that we're attempting to create. I'm going to append the size to file name and then leave all of these the same. We'll produce all of these sets. And even though we've got an Android device here, probably shouldn't be picking these iOS devices. We probably should just be running for Android, Amazon, and Nook. But for purposes of this demonstration, that's okay. So let's go ahead and click OK. So the script is running, and I'm just going to pause it until it's completed. Okay, the script finished successfully. Let's take a look at the scenes here. So scene 1. It imported the first screenshot, which is great. Scene 2, Scene 3, and then Scene 4. And let's open up our directory and take a look at those screenshots. So here is that's the landscape. That's the last demonstration. So this is the portrait. We've got the same folders here. Under Amazon, there's the screenshot labeled with its size, which is 1080 by 1920. And you can confirm that here, right here, and then under dimensions, that's what was actually produced. There's the second screenshot, the third one, and the fourth one. And it did the same thing for all of the different devices, even the iPad, even though this isn't an iPad, it's an Android device. And we've got the Mac as well, the Nook, and the Windows device if you want to publish to the Windows Phone Store. So that is it for the demonstration. If you're interested in purchasing this script or having us produce screenshots for you, just follow the instructions at the bottom below this video to get a hold of us, and we'll talk to you soon. And if you like this video, please comment.